Welcome to The Vintage Voice. I'm Jessica Rapp, and this is my co-host, Greer Albaugh.
Hello.
Today, we are going to we have two special guests, Sergeant Lewis and Secret Service Agent Amy Newhouse. So thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Before we get into everything, I know we're going to be talking about financial crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your guys' backgrounds and how you fell into this line of work?
You want me to start?
Sure.
So before I became a police officer, I was actually in banking in the financial industry for 14 years. So I have a business degree. So I came up that way and I had an opportunity to come to the police department. And ultimately, I became a fraud detective and then an intel detective, an IA, but then actually supervised the fraud department for the financial crimes for a couple different stints. So I've been there this go around for a little over 4 years. And it fits my background with this. So that's why I'm in financial crimes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I've been with the Secret Service for about 10 years. When I got assigned to this job, they sent me to New York and they put me in the Financial Crimes Task Force. So I did that for a few years and now I'm in Arizona and it just kind of carried over. I manage the Arizona Cyber Fraud Task Force now.
Oh, really
So
cool.
I've been dealing with it for a while now.
How does one even fall into Secret Service? Where did the interest for that even begin?
I think as you grow up, you just kind of know,
Okay.
I want to be a special agent for the Secret Service.
That's so cool.
So it's always been there.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to have you both here, and I'm so excited to talk about this topic today. I know that scams, affect not just seniors, but everybody. I think that we all might have been, not all of us, but Greer and I might have fallen subject as a victim to some scams. And we want to talk about how we can protect our vulnerable population and the seniors and educate their families and them on steps they can take to protect themselves.
Well, especially in Scottsdale, there's a large senior population here in the city. And we also have a very affluent community. So I can only imagine the amount of financial crimes that happen here in the city. Can you tell us a little bit more about the common types of financial crimes that seniors might be facing today?
Yeah, and you're right. Scottsdale is a number one target because of the affluence that goes on here, but also scammers want to pretend they're from Scottsdale also. So we're dealing with both ends of that. The most frequent crime or attempted crime that we see targeting seniors or 55 and better are where they're pretending, they're creating the illusion of I'm a federal agent or I'm the government and I need you to bring me some money or let me have access to your accounts, or that they're a bank. And the whole idea is to create some sort of emergency or to put you back on your heels that you've done something wrong. Mm-hmm. You have a warrant for your arrest,
right.
So therefore you need to bring me or take some money to the crypto ATM, or your IP address was used for child porn. And we're going to arrest you, so you need to send me some cash, wire me some cash. Or go to the bank while I have you on the phone and then put money in a box and we're going to pick it up in front of your house. Because our citizens think they're doing the right thing. Oh my gosh, that wasn't me. I want to pay for my warrant. I want to keep my money safe, whatever happens to be. And so they're creating that emergency to put you in a position of panic so thereby gain access to your money. It just happened to my brother back in New York where someone pretended to be his bank and said, hey, you didn't make your payment. And for 20 minutes, he and his wife were arguing about should we pay these people or not. And then they called me and I said, of course not, don't pay them. But it made them think, well, how would they know my name? And it says the bank when it came up on his cell phone.
Oh, wow.
So they create an illusion that makes them appear legitimate by pretending to be a federal agent, by pretending to be Chief LeDuc of the Scottsdale Police Department, or by, hey, we're your financial advisor.
Yeah, I can only imagine how it can become more and more important to realize that they are scams, especially as you get older. Me, as a relatively young person, even I'm falling for the scam. So I can't imagine, like I fell for the toll road scam coming from California. I had just come from California, and then I got a text saying that I hadn't paid my toll. And
Right.
I don't want to be in trouble with the law, obviously. So I'm going to pay the toll. And I tapped on the link. I got a call from my bank a couple days later saying I had been hacked or hijacked or however you want to call it. But if I can fall for it, I can't imagine
Absolutely.
our older community.
And so I think that I've heard and I've read online that typically, and you can tell me if this is true or not, a government agency is not going to call somebody to ask for money,
No,
like ever, right?
never.
Okay.
The IRS will never call you and say, you owe us this. If you ever do get a message like that, call yourself. Hang up the phone, do your own research, Google the number, call, but they will never send you a text, a call asking for money under any circumstances, ever.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Another story, of course. I used to work for Scottsdale City Court. I was a court clerk, and people would call in saying that they got a call saying that there was a warrant out for their arrest and that they needed to do X, Y, Z. Like, first off, the city is never going to call you if you have a warrant out for your arrest, especially at Scottsdale City Court. But the stories people would come with saying that they needed to do this by XYZ time to get this person or get rid of the warrant. I'm like, it's crazy. Crazy.
Anytime someone's putting pressure on you, or I'm going to create an emergency and I'm going to put now time pressure on you, it's very heavy-handed. And the panic or the anxiousness you feel and because of the time pressure makes you not do the normal due diligence of it. It's like, well, it says Scottsdale Police Department, but they can spoof all those numbers and spoof the name. They can make it appear to be one of my sons or my daughter. So how do we know? And especially these days with AI, how do we know? How do we figure it out? And it's like the old War Games movie. The only winning move is not to play. We have to figure out how not to be in it. It's hang up, as the special agent said, hang up. Don't use the number that shows there. Look at the back of your bank card or go to Google and type in this and call dispatch or call the IRS directly. But no one is going to be asking you to put money in a box or go to the bank and lie to the bank to get money out or to wire to put it in a crypto ATM. The government just has no business doing that.
You mentioned tools and tactics so if someone's calling you that's trying to scam you, hang up, call the actual number. Are there any tools or technologies besides that could help prevent or detect that fraud?
Yes. So if someone does message you, I immediately block and delete the phone numbers.
Okay.
Never give out any personal information over the phone. Do your own research. Like Detective Lewis said, spoofing is a big thing. All the numbers that are texting and calling it's not the bank. It's not any federal agency. Ask a friend if you're unsure. Ask family members. Ask relatives, because if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
It's all a scam, so those are the tips I usually give our senior citizens.
So,
No, and one of the things the special agent was talking about is talking to a family member, someone trusted. If someone calls you up, or if there's a pop up on your screen that your computer's hacked or any of those things, don't pay attention to it. But if you do, part of it is they want to shame the person. So I'm going to tell you that your IP address is being used for child porn. So now I'm not going to go to my friend, special agent. I just want to solve it and be that, because I didn't do anything. So we're looking for those key indicators. There's an emergency, there's a time pressure, there's shame, because they don't want you talking. They don't want me calling my wife and saying, I didn't do this or whatever, or let me call the police. No, you can't hang up. So we have to be you got to get down to the basics of it, it's a high pressure sales job, a high pressure delusion they're trying to put upon you. And the best thing you can do is just stop the click, stop the losses. Just stop it. Hang up, delete it. And any citizen can call the Scottsdale Police Department and say, this just happened. Our dispatchers are amazing. They're going to say, it's a scam. Or they're going to reach me or one of my team, or they mean call Secret Service, and they're all going to, it's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys have any stories or incidents that you can share, like real life scams that have happened? Does the grandmother's scam still happen where the kid
jail.
calls and they're in jail and you have to bail them out,
That
things
happened
like
to my
that?
roommate.
It still happens. It's kind of dying down. I feel like for Secret Service, what we typically see now are romance scams
Mm-hmm.
where it can occur online where you get a message from someone and it turns into something romantic, or a wrong text message and it continues from there. So the victim has no idea that this person is usually probably overseas, but the entire account is fake pictures, fake everything, fake friends. They create multiple profiles. So it looks like, they have 100 friends, but it's all the same person. And they're very like detailed and thorough. So they'll send the victim, I don't have money, something happened, and go to the bank, get some money out, go to this ATM, Bitcoin machine and put your money in here and it's going to be converted into cryptocurrency. And it's so thorough. Like they send emails out with, I've always seen them in red instructions, like step 1 do this, step 2 do this, and then months later the victim will reach out to local PD, Secret Service, and I've been scammed. And it's usually with cryptocurrency, it takes a while before they realize that all their money has been gone. So for us, it's usually romance scams that we're seeing a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, you say cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and stuff. I know they're relatively new. How does that play into scamming and stuff? It's like a whole nother realm, is it not?
It is, yes. That's the majority of what we see.
Okay.
It's usually where your funds will be converted into cryptocurrency, and that's where the scam will take place.
And it's really hard to get that money back.
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah, it's rare.
Okay.
Incredibly rare that anybody gets any money back from a cryptocurrency exchange, because most of them, right, are outside of the United States.
A large percentage.
So they're outside of the federal government. They're certainly outside of the state and local government to be able to have legal process. So once it's converted to that, it's moved many, many times.
Wow.
And the losses are huge.
Yeah. So if you see someone who's getting scammed, or one of your friends is telling you something about like a romantic interest that they're chatting with online, what should you do? Like as a friend or a partner or a sibling?
I would try to talk to them. If they don't listen to you, I've also encountered this multiple times. I will have family members call us, the Secret Service here in Phoenix. We will go to the individual's house. We will talk to them and we have to tell them this is a scam. You have to stop. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But we can do that for the public. Like we want to help because this is so prevalent.
Yeah.
I mean, you see like Netflix documentaries, like the Tindler Swindler, like things like that. But I mean, you don't want to, I know a lot of them don't get to that point, but still it happens.
Yes.
You have to have the mindset of being a professional skeptic. Your email, your cell phone, the U.S. mail, it's all an opening for criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we could recognize criminals pretty quickly, what's happening, these property crimes. But when you ever think about who has your email address, those are sold. Those aren't kept. And that's an easy thing for a machine to just send out 10,000 emails a day.
Yeah.
They're going to get someone who is not thinking correctly that day. Maybe they just, because it happened to me. I got back from the dentist and I had some procedure done and my wife found me in the backyard calling, people at the PD. What are you doing? I still don't remember who I called, but normally I'd be fine. So all I have to do is catch some of those people. So an email address is like the address to your front door.
Mm-hmm.
Opening a text, opening an email is like unlocking your front door for people to come in and try to pitch you and to create that emergency, that illusion of you need to do something.
Which is kind of crazy to me because growing up in like the technological age and just being so exposed to smartphones and stuff, I don't think twice about any of that. Like I send an email or I send a text, I tap on a link all the time just because I've always known that and that's something I've always done. So it's just wild to think that you actually need to think about what you're clicking on.
Well, yeah, and part of that, and Amy and I talk about it all the time, it's the convenience is the opening.
Right.
So it's convenient. It's easy. When someone says, oh, it's easy, just it's 1, 2, 3.
Right.
It's convenient. You should think,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to go use the ATM in a convenience store in a terrible part of town.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to go actually into the lobby of the bank that I bank at and use that ATM. Well, one of those is more likely to have a skimmer, which she and I were just out working skimmers a couple weeks ago. And we know where it's at. Well, it's the place where it's convenient. So inconvenience often saves us the time.
Right.
It's inconvenient for me to look up and do research on my own to find the bank number versus what was just text to me.
Mm-hmm.
So think of inconvenience usually equals safety
Yeah.
when it comes to technology.
Well, and that even, you mentioned skimmers, that brings up a whole nother point to me is the whole tap to pay situation. I've read things about like people will tap to pay and it's not the actual reader itself. There's like a thing on top of it. Is that something that you guys like, am I going off on a tangent here? You know what I'm talking about? The tap to pay?
Sure. Generally tap to pay is a much safer alternative than swipe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
That they can't always capture. Now there is some information out there that maybe there's some
Overlays.
overlays
Yeah,
and things like that.
I'm scrolling way too deep on social media.
It does help. Bottom line, if I had to choose between a swipe and a tap to pay, use tap.
Okay, good to know. Noted.
Yeah.
And you've sorry, I feel like
Oh, no, you're good.
This is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
We've chatted about this before,
Sure.
the debit card. Can you go into a little bit more about?
Debit card.
Debit card. So a debit card is direct access to your cash.
Mm-hmm.
Or a credit card is a revolving line of credit. It's a loan. So if you're going to use one of those two online, why would I give someone direct access to my cash?
Mm-hmm.
Because that can be stolen, right? And used. And they don't have to have your PIN to use it online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather the safer alternative is to have a credit card that you use online. Credit card that you use at the businesses out there. If she and I have meetings for the task force or whatever, we're at a particular point, I never ever carry my debit card unless it's to get my allowance. I've joked about that before. To get my allowance every 2 weeks. And I go inside the branch where I know there's not going to be any skimmers because they have an ATM next to their teller line. But the credit card is what I use because the banks aren't required to give you your money back.
Mm-mm.
They have regulations. They're supposed to give you $100 within 24 or 48 hours or something like that. But I'll fight all day long on if I'm going to pay you this credit card dispute.
Yeah.
But I don't want anybody having, now it's not just my DDA, demand deposit account. They got access to my checking, savings, and they know where I bank.
Yeah.
So if I whip out, a banked embedded card, they go, oh, well, Joel lost that. We know where he banks. I'm going to create a driver's license. I've got his debit card. I'm going to go and access all his retirement funds.
That's so scary.
Versus having a credit card that is not related to my bank. So now they might be able to figure it out, but it's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, it's strange because you end up thinking like a criminal, but these are just little things that are easy for people to do. But now I am vintage. Back in the day, we carried everything in our wallet and my wife carried everything in her purse. Social Security card, driver's license, insurance card, all the credit cards, everything. Well, are you prepared to lose that and have your whole life just ruined? Or do you just take the one card that you need for that day with your driver's license? So we have to kind of flip around our thinking a little bit to, lessen and minimize losses, wall off some things.
Yeah. No, after we talked, that's all I thought about for like the next 3 weeks because I used to carry everything on a key ring all together all the time. And if you leave that somewhere, that's everything.
Yeah. And if you use your phone for banking, well, if you've lost your phone, you've lost your wallet.
Yeah.
You've lost your purse.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get into a phone. If you lose your phone, you better hope some semi drove over it and crushed it because there's data on there.
Yeah. You don't think about those little things.
Are there any legal protections in place for victims of elder financial abuse?
So we do. It
But
allows brokerages to place a hold, a freeze on someone's account if they suspect elder fraud has taken place. A big one I see is adult
yeah.
protection services. So a lot of them will file on behalf of their, the senior citizen. We think fraud's being involved, and
Mhm.
it usually is. I usually tell everybody, the agencies, to also file in IC3. They just go to ic3.gov. That's where we get majority of our fraud investigations from. And local PD, they call them, they call us. And banks and credit cards have gotten a lot better, I feel like, in like the past 20 years.
Mhm.
Like sometimes you'll get a text message, like I get text messages a lot. Your card's being used here. Is this authorized? Yes or no?
Yes.
So they've gotten a lot better. And a lot of credit card companies will put a hold on your or a
Mhm.
freeze if they feel like it's suspected fraud. And
Mhm.
again, do your research, call the number like Detective Lewis said on the back of the card, unfreeze it. But they've gotten a lot better.
Hmm.
Do you have any other tips or knowledge you'd like to share with us in regards to fraud? And
Yeah, I think one of the big things, and we're talking about our seniors and the communities that we have here, is that are there trusted people
Mhm.
in your community
Hmm.
or in your family or your sphere of influence that you can go to and ask these questions before you do anything? So much, because I went through it with my folks, so much when we start having a cognitive decline is it's little pieces that we're not quite catching. And then if you're around the person out, you're not going to see it. But someone, a trusted individual may say, oh, he's a few steps slower. Or, hey, what are you doing with all that cash?
Mm.
Or why are you going to the bank every day? Those are questions that we need to be able to ask each other that.
Hmm.
I'm always brainstorming with Amy and people of the task force or other detectives of, hey, what about this? How do we solve that? That's the first thing I'd say is have a community,
Hmm.
trusted community. If when in doubt, call your local police department. Call us, and myself or one of my members of the team will come out and talk to you or talk to you on the phone. And especially if if you've been diagnosed as having a cognitive decline or you're beginning that, have a lawyer if you can afford it. Make sure you got the doctor things and start planning for that. And I hope and trust that my children will say, hey, Dad, here, take the car keys, or yeah, I think I'm going to take your laptop away.
Hmm.
I had to do it with my folks. My dad was being scammed through his, desktop at his, and I realized, oh, took it away. They hated me for it, but
Yeah.
I helped them.
Yeah.
So we have to be assertive without being offensive
Hmm.
and just being upfront with one another.
I know you have done some talks out in the community. Do you have anything planned right now for anything future?
There's one coming up on Wednesday. It's just a business where they're getting kind of a lunch together type thing, and we do those, and the Secret Service will do those too. We do a lot of joint things. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office do them, and we try to do a lot of combo things. Who's ever out touching the community, HOA associations, but we'll talk to if someone just wants to meet at Starbucks at 5 a.m., we're on it.
Hmm.
Because it's that community that needs to look out for one another. And the more you and I, we've talked before, and Amy and I talk all the time of, what about this? Here's a good tip of just ignore these things. Stop answering the phone. Send your unknown phone numbers can go right into your voicemail, and you don't have to have them ringing all the time. Delete these things. Don't get on this website. Don't open emails if you don't need to. Because quite frankly, there's nothing that you need to click on.
Yeah.
Nothing that you need to click on to get through in this life. You don't have to click on the one that came from your doctor's office, fill out the forms. You can get the forms from your doctor's office.
Right.
You don't have to do those things. So don't be forced into technology that you're uncomfortable with. They count on you being uncomfortable with it. Play your game with that. I'm going to continue to do things that I do that keep me and my family safe. Even if it's old school and vintage, I'm going to keep doing it because I'm not going to get tricked into it. And just having people, your friends and family members who can look out for you.
For sure.
Yeah, and you did a couple workshops at the senior centers this past year, and I'm hoping we'll get some of those scheduled again because I
Oh,
think those are
absolutely.
really important. And we also have some technology workshops coming up
Oh, good.
for like Chat GPT, and we have a lot of seniors signed up for that. So I think just the more awareness and education with all of it will help people.
Absolutely.
If someone wants to connect with you, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they can a couple different ways. They can call our regular dispatch, 480-312-5000. Just ask for Sergeant Lewis, and you'll come to my voicemail.
Okay.
But my direct number is 480-312-8141. 480-312-8141. And then you can leave me a voicemail. And education is Chief LeDuc is get in the community, talk more and more and more and more, because that's the only way we can stop and help people from being victims of crime, is to pre-communicate with them and to have something open for them where they can reach out and say, what about this? So don't do anything until you talk to me. Talk to one of my team, talk to a special agent.
Well, Joel, Amy, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on The Vintage Voice. We hope you learned something new. And stay vertical, Scottsdale. That's our closing line. Stay vertical. Get it?
Cool.
I didn't get it. What is that?
Oh,
Stay vertical. Like, don't go horizontal. That's what the
Okay.
seniors.
I like that.
I was
Stay alive.
Okay.
Swindler.
Yeah, you said Kindler.
I know. I